All right, good afternoon. Welcome back to the update. And don't forget, there was a meeting between CBN and IMF. And listen very carefully and the amount they intend to release. Pay attention and see how this information can bring of help to you, or how this information can bring disbursement to reality. Subscribe to the update, and most importantly, share this piece of information so that people can also be aware of what's happening between CBN and IMF. Listen very carefully and have a great day.
I welcome you to this revelations and this unraveling. It's quite so important to bring this to our notices right now because of the state of things at the moment. And I will be revealing some things based on what is going on and things that we've come to terms with at a time like this. The truth about the missing trillions, the IMF's intervention, and the fight for the masses. That is exactly the point I'm here to talk about this morning. Also, ladies and gentlemen, we want to talk about the shocking reality that is unfolding right now before our very eyes. A reality that has left many Nigerians wondering whether or where did the money go. And it's the story about the betrayal, the intervention, and the fight for justice for the common man. So I want you to grab your seat, because what I'm about to share will leave you speechless, and it's going to set you at awe. I will talk about the government's role and the missing trillions. It all began with the government taking a significant chunk of money meant for the masses. Yes, the funds intended to alleviate the economic struggles of everyday Nigerians were somehow diverted. But here is where it gets a bit interesting. The IMF, which is the International Monetary Fund, along with Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, stepped into the issue. They stepped into the picture. What was their mission? To ensure that the stolen money finds its way back to where it belongs, where it was stolen from, and that is the hands of the people. President Tinubu, according to what was heard, initially admitted to taking 4.6 trillion naira from the funds, according to the voice note that circulated of late. Admitted to take that amount. It's shocking to you, right? Well, hold on, because things took an even darker turn when it was later discovered that he actually took 9.6 trillion naira. 9.6 trillion. And that's more than double the amount he confessed to. But then, we also heard that the IMF, that is known for its no-nonsense approach to economic transparency, stepped up and they issued a firm directive to that regard. Return the money to those it is meant for, and that is the masses. Return the money to those it is meant for, which are the masses. They are the one at the point of fire. They are the one in the hospital without hope. They are the one in the hospital without an iota of help. They are the one feeling the pinch of the economic crunch. They are the one that is feeling the jab of every mess within the ecosystem and the economy at large. So return the fund to those it is meant for, and that is the masses. Now, as investigation deepens, it was also discovered that the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, had fixed a portion of the funds he took. Yes, the money was locked away in a fixed account, in a fixed deposit somewhere, so that it can earn some interest for him while the masses suffered. And here is the kicker. Shettima stated that the funds could not be unfixed until Monday. Imagine that, a nation waiting on a fixed deposit while the people are struggling to eat. The elites take the money meant for the poor masses, fixed it to their advantage and to the detriment of the ailing masses. They don't have good schools to send their children. They don't have good accommodation to sleep with. They don't have good houses to rent. They don't have good meals to eat. No good clothes to put on. No good hospitals to take care of their bills or their health declining situations. They are managing their health. They are managing their economy to themselves. But what was meant for them from the donors have to be fixed by the elites. What is the hope of the common man? Meanwhile, Tinubu, in what seemed like a damage control move, he directed others that are involved in the scandal to return the funds they took by Friday, and a deadline for restitution. But will they comply? Only time will tell. Now, I will talk about this mysterious shortfall, because it was a decline. It was a mysterious shortfall that appears to be painful, but at the same time, something needs to be done. The plot thickens. By the time the funds left the CBN, the Central Bank of Nigeria, there were already significant shortfalls. The question is, who is responsible for the money that is vanishing into thin air? Is it an inside job, a syndicate of corruption, or a systemic failure that allows such theft to occur without accountabilities? This has left Nigerians with one prayer on their lips: may those who stole this money be compelled to return it. And honestly, that's the least we can hope for, because if it is not returned, the IMF have said that, the donors have said that if it is not returned, disbursement cannot be effected, because some section will get the fund while others have to spectate along. Now imagine you waiting for 7 years to claim what was stolen, or to get to start hearing the story of the elite who stole your fund, and that's why you couldn't get paid. Imagine how that sounds in your ear. Imagine the pain, the ordeal of the common man, those who should represent us, but they are the one killing us. The shepherd that is said to guide the sheep is the one killing the sheep to eat. Now, how do we move away from here? Where did we get to where we are? And that is why that left Nigerians with one singular prayer: those who stole the treasury, those who loot that treasury, those who looted that funds, may God make them to refund it. Now, amidst this chaos, there is a glimmer of hope, and that's the good news I bring across your path. Amidst this uncertainty, this chaotic situation, there is a glimmer of hope. It was initially planned that the funds would be disbursed daily to 200 NGOs. That ensures that the money eventually reaches the grassroots. And the idea is to complete this process until all the funds are fully distributed. But now, the fund is not completed, so disbursement can't be effected until there is a returning. But with the shortfalls, like I said, and the ongoing drama, will this plan ever see the light of the day? But we pray it does. Prayer changes the hand that moves the world. So I want to believe that God has a purpose for everything. And with the way and manner things are going, the funds would be refunded. The funds would be returned back to their treasuries. The involvement of the IMF and Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has brought some reassurances. Their presence in this whole fiasco signifies that the international community is watching, and they will not stand by while the masses are cheated out of what is rightfully theirs. They wouldn't stand by to watch this humiliating end come to dawn upon the expectant beneficiaries. Now, there is a bigger picture actually. So it's not just only about these missing trillions, it's also about the fight for justice and accountabilities. It's about ensuring that those who hold power understand that they are stewards of the people's resources and not looters of the national treasury. It's about the hope that, despite all odds, the voices of the masses would not be silenced. Never. So the masses are watching. The international community is watching. And history is taking notes. Nigerians are tired of excuses. Nigerians are tired of corruptions. And they are tired of the suffering that comes with mismanagement. This is a call to action for all of us to stay vigilant, to demand transparency, and hold those in power accountable. Very necessary. To everyone listening to this, let's not just watch this play out like a movie. Let us stay informed. Let us share the truth. Let us pray fervently for justice to prevail. Let the funds that belong to the people, and it is time for them to be returned, let them be returned. We must continue to push for transparency. We must continue to push for accountability. We must continue to push for a brighter future for Nigeria and all the inhabitants of it. The IMF has done its part by stepping in. And now it's up to us to keep the momentum going. This isn't just about the money alone. It's about integrity. It's about trust and the soul of our nation. So as we wait for further developments, let us remain hopeful. Let us remain united on our quest for a better Nigeria. And to those who took the money, remember this: the truth would always come to light. Return the money now to those it was meant for. That is the cry of the masses. Return the money to the coffers where it's expected to bless the masses. And the masses have suffered enough. How long will they cry until their cry turn to rivers? How long will they beg? How long would they bring themselves down under the government? If the fund has left the CBN, it should be disbursed to the accounts of the expectant beneficiaries. Why would those who had the means loot the common treasury of the poor? And there are prayers that the poor will pray that the wealthy and those who are the echelon of powers who are stealing and looting this treasury or plundering the treasuries meant for the masses, that they would never have rest. When we can be united in one indestructible power and formations, we can speak a thing and it shall be established. So let's come together in hope. Let's come together in confidence. Let's come together in righteousness and pray to God. The fund should be returned. The fund should be returned. And let the poor breathe. Let the masses breathe. Thank you. It was important that I bring this submission to your notice about the importance of returning the looted treasury, the missing trillions, coupled with the IMF's intervention and Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who stepped in at the right time. Else, the fund would have been a forgotten issue. The only thing you will just keep hearing is next week, next tomorrow, next year. Before you know, we wouldn't hear the voice anymore. It becomes fainter and fainter. But thanks be to God for a woman who has the feeling of the masses, and the donor and the International Monetary Fund, who says no. Nigerian government should not burden the people. They are already burdened. They shouldn't be burdened any further. There should be help for them. And we thank the Lord for them. We thank the Lord for them. They have done exceedingly, abundantly well above all that we could ever think that these have done. They've tried their best to ensure that this fund is returned. And that is the level where we are right now. So the missing fund, without doubt, would be returned. We are within the weeks of returning. We are within the weeks of performance. We are within the weeks of excellence. So everything that have been stolen away from you, you will recover all of them. They would be recovered by fire, by force. God will release sufficient earthquake. God will release sufficient tremor. God will release sufficient fire on their bombs. For everyone sitting on your peace, anyone sitting on what pertains and belongs to you, God will release sufficient fire to their bomb that they would never have peace until justice is effected. And that has to be done right now.